Ichigo Kurosaki. I just really want Ichigo Kurosaki in this list because I love Bleach. Bleach is one of my all-time favorite series, and I love Ichigo Kurosaki's character in general. So he's basically my favorite my favorite main protagonist there is. So at the very least, I'll put him at the very last spot. So pretty good. But as things progress, I like all the characters better on the others of my higher spots of this list. So without further ado, let's proceed on with number 9. Head on to number 9. One of my favorite precursors of all time, Go Princess Precure. I just love the theme of the show, that they want to be princesses, but because Go Princess Precure is actually a start of Haruka Haruna wanting to be a princess. Not literally be a princess, but ideally a princess. So that's my number 3, and I really love his character development towards the end. So my number 9 belongs to Haruka Haruna, Floral Princess. Yeah, Floral Princess. Let's proceed to number 8. And the OG guy with the crazy haircut, Yu-Gi-Oh main character Yugimoto. He's definitely one of my favorite till to date that is a Yu-Gi-Oh main character. Except there's only 3 I like in the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise that are main character. There's Jaden Yuki, Yuma from Zexal, and Yugi. Those 3 are my top 3 contenders for Yu-Gi-Oh main protagonists. I just have to put Yugimoto in here because he's the best Yu-Gi-Oh character there is, and I feel like no one will oppose that. He's definitely the best main character of Yu-Gi-Oh. Without further ado, let's head on in. Number 7. Number 7 is the Boob Dragon Emperor, Issei Hyodo. I just love him. He's funny, and he's the living embodiment that even a pervert can be an epic hero, and he gets a power from grabbing a girl's chest too. So that's a plus. That's always a plus for my book. So number 7, Issei Hyodo from High School DxD. Number 6, the badass and deadly assassin Akame from Akame ga Kill. Even if you watch, whether you watch the anime, which I absolutely hate the ending of, or you read the manga, which has a decent ending, we can all agree that Akame is in fact a badass character, and so she moves in at number 6. Let's proceed then to number 5. And at number 5, Natsu Dragneel. For those you guys who doesn't know, Fairy Tail is one of my favorite anime, my gateway to anime. And yeah, I started watching anime maybe 2011 or 2012, and I first watched Fairy Tail, and dude, Fairy Tail for me is like my all-time favorite. Even if it's not as great as One Piece for me, Fairy Tail is definitely one of my favorite. So number 5, Natsu Dragneel, just because I like Fairy Tail and I love him as a character as well. Okay. Number 4, Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. And what I love about Naruto, you watch his growth from being a kid to becoming the leader of a village, saving the entire world, and potentially getting the love of his life. So that's why I love him, is because of his character arc and the series in general, like, it's very plot heavy, so I really do love that fact of Naruto. And from here on out, you will have two more shonen protagonists in this list. Without further ado, let's get on to number 3. Number 3 is the captain of the Straw Hat's crew and the future king of the pirates, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. I feel like I don't need to explain myself here. It's Luffy, come on. Who wouldn't want Luffy to be one of your top 3? Like, heck, I even debated whether or not I will put Luffy in the top 1, but that spot is already taken and top 2 is already taken too. You'll see in a very short while Luffy, who's my 1 and 2, but Luffy in general, I really love him. His sense of adventure is really fun to watch, and if he's not interesting enough, One Piece wouldn't be a success, right? So number 3 is on to Luffy. My number 2 spot goes to the leader of the Black Knights. I think he's also the 11th or the 9th heir to the throne of Britannia, the and the 99th emperor of the realm of Britannia, and Lelouch Britannia. That's of course. I just really love Code Geass. I enjoyed it a lot. It's mainly because of how badass Lelouch is, and he's not even physically strong. He's just a genius. Even a genius can be a badass, even if you don't know how to fight, which is inaccurate because he can fight just with a giant robot. So number 2 would be Lelouch v Britannia from Code Geass. Let's slide in to number 1. Number 1, the Full Metal Alchemist Edward Elric. And this is from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the canon one, not the first movie, because the first Full Metal Alchemist, I absolutely hated that series. I would rather have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood than that series. So my number 1 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think this is kind of obvious because Full Metal Alchemist is one of the most greatest anime of all time, and freaking Edward Elric is one of the most beloved main characters there is to date. So number 1 is Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Solidify the Brotherhood, okay? Not the first one from 2000. Welcome to another video. And this video is I'm gonna count down my top 10 shonen main character. Actually, it's no surprise if you watch all of my videos in my channel. I am a big fan of shonen animes, and this is just to count down all of my favorite shonen main characters. I'm gonna have an honorable mention because these 2 characters actually, one didn't make the list and the other I just didn't put him because it's just really obvious that he's going to be like my number 1 pick. It's going to be, for one, it didn't make this list, is Asta from Black Clover. Asta. I didn't mention him. I didn't want to include him because he's just a combination of many different shonen characters. I didn't want to, but I did enjoy Black Clover, reading it, not watching it, the anime, but I did enjoy reading Black Clover, so I'm gonna honorably mention Asta. And the second one that it's obvious that is gonna be one of the top 5 is Goku. Just because it's really obvious, everyone likes Goku. Goku is just an OG shonen character, so I am not gonna include Goku and Asta for this. Those are my honorable mentions. So let's get on with the video. Yeah, let's get on with the video. And please leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy my content. And please, and one last thing before I start. This video is going to be Izuku Midoriya from Boku no Hero Academia. I just like Boku no Hero Academia, so I have to put him in the way. And I like those characters that at first were underdogs but became really powerful as the story went on. So for number 10 is Izuku Midoriya. Smashing through is number 10 is Izuku Midoriya. So let's go on to number 9. Part of my OG couple in shonen. I really love his tandem with Kagome. Number 9, as you can probably see in the picture on my top, it's Inuyasha. He's just so a badass demon. He's just so really cool for me, and I just have to put him in the number 9 spot. So yeah, and the way he cares for his friend Kagome, for his other half Kagome, and for his friends is just so inspiring and really, and he's cool AF. And yeah, Inuyasha slashing through at number 9. Let's go for our number 8. Is Ichigo Kurosaki. Yeah, a clone of Inuyasha, but you know what? Ichigo is really cool too, on his own right. So Ichigo Kurosaki again slashing through number 8. Let's see. Kame from Akame ga Kill, the only female in this list just because she's OP, she's cool, and I like her development throughout the story. So number 7, Akame ga Kills Akame. So let's proceed to number 6. Gone Freaks. Ever since I've watched Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, I actually fell in love with Gone Freaks and his compatriots, his friends. So for number 6, Gone Freaks, and I actually also like his motivation that he wants to find his dad. Number 10, Mochizuki Toya. I didn't make this list based on character arc, but damn, he got OP after dying, after Truck-kun hit him, or no, after the lightning strikes him. Seriously, like, I think his cell phone really helps him in that world, and he's kind of a chick magnet, but he's quite indecisive. I don't know why, but he has the chicks, he has the powers, he has stamina, he has superhuman strength, he has the phone to back it up. So yeah, Mochizuki Toya will be number 10 just because he's OP, but he's OP not done right. Yeah, basically. So let's proceed to number 9. Number 9, Haruhi Suzumiya from Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi. And her ability is kind of reality bending. Like, remember that I think 9 episode, or yeah, 9 episode kind of time loop. Like, that she caused a time loop, like, without even realizing it. So the only reason why she's this low because her ability is not really combat based, more like I'm the goddess of this new world. So yeah. Number 9 would be Suzumiya Haruhi, and still though she has a much better character arc than Mochizuki Toya. So yeah, that's at least better, right? Yeah. Let's proceed on to number 8. Number 8 will be Karo Sensei from Assassination Classroom. The pattern here is 10 is someone with terrible character arc, and 9 and 8 doesn't really use their ability in a combat manner. I mean, Karo Sensei mainly focuses on teaching and just dodging the attacks of his students and and other people's attacks. So it's not really more on a combat level though. So Kuro Sensei, just because he can move super fast and he has tentacles, 8 tentacles I think. I'm not really certain about that. So number 8 would be Kuro Sensei, just because he's mainly focusing on combat uses. So yeah. Let's proceed on to number 7. Number 7, Sebastian from Black Butler. I mean, if you have this guy as your butler, you won't need to worry about kidnappings and theft in your household, let's just say, because this guy is that much powerful, and you also don't have to worry about cleaning. How about that? Sebastian, you just have to worry about your soul getting eaten up by him. So yeah, number 7 is Sebastian from Black Butler. Number 6, another isekai protagonist that I actually really like. Rimuru Tempest from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Way too OP. 2 of his abilities are to analyze his opponent's abilities, and which is Great Sage, and Predator, which lets him take the abilities that the enemies that he has consumed, basically like that. So yeah, I really like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, even though it's as isekai. I'm an isekai trash, but this is an isekai done well. OP isekai protagonist done well, unlike Mochizuki Toya and I don't know, Kirito or anyone of this jazz. So yeah. Number 6, Rimuru Tempest. Number 5, Lord Ainz Ogon from Overlord. Yeah. The only thing I can say is he's the more powerful I feel like he's more powerful than Rimuru. And I did enjoy Overlord for the long time, even if it is a crappy. Yo! Welcome to another Top 10 video, and for this video, it's gonna be, as you can probably tell in the title below, it's gonna be Top 10 Harem Protagonists. I've been watching a lot of harem series. Actually, I do love harem series, but some of them have really bland protagonists. This is by far the best or my favorite harem protagonist so far. Of course, like the other top 10, you guys. This top 10 is based on my opinion, and if you don't agree, please leave your own top 10, but please leave your own top 10 in the comment section below. Let's get this discussion going. Please leave a like, subscribe for more anime and otaku related content, and let's head on to number 10. And I've probably rewatched this series 3 times now. I do love his team up with his main love interest Luis. Number 10 is going to be Saito Hiraga. He's probably one of the most generic protagonists. I mean, he's an isekai protagonist. I actually originally debated on putting this guy on my top 10 isekai or top 10 harem protagonist, but overall, I think I would pass him for harem protagonist though, because I do love harem protagonists that actually shows the person they're going to be with, instead of just being accidentally being part of a harem. So for me, even though I don't really agree with the fact that he ended up with Louise, although I'm contradicting myself there, because he's kind of, I feel like he's kind of sadistic with how she treats him at throughout the series. Very sadistic. So I can't, because there's a lot of best girls in that series that he could have ended up with, and he ended up with Louise. I guess that's kind of worth it because she is cute, but are you really gonna endure much hardship with Louise than be with like the maid girl? Like, she legitimately cares for Saito, and if he chose Louise, although it's still enough to I am a fan of the story, and I'm a big fan of the anime as well. So, and I'm glad that it ended now. For me, it's enough to land her at the number 10 spot of my top 10. So number 10 is Saito Hiroga from Familiar of Zero, or I'm not gonna pronounce the Japanese name yet, but it's Familiar of Zero. Let's proceed into number 9. 9 is Basara Tojo. Of course, I still think till this day, Basara Tojo is the dollar store knockoff of Issei Hyodo. Like, everything about him screams, oh, there's a tape there, screams rip off of Issei Hyodo. Like, he has the power up is red hair, which is basically Mio, is basically also a rip off, a dollar store version of Risks. Why would you want a Mio if you can have Rias Grammary, right? Like, everything about Testament of the Sister is basically High School DxD ripoff, okay? Like, I've rewatched High School DxD countless of times. It's one of my favorite harem protagonists just because I do love Issei as a protagonist. Not much for Basara. Basara, I do like him, but he doesn't really remind me of a shonen protagonist that I love. It's more like he's forced to be on a harem. He doesn't want to be in a harem, but he's forced to be in it. Kind of like the next entry in number 8. He's also forced to be in the harem. So, for me, I think number 10 and number 8 is definitely more of my favorite blend, kind of no personality kind of harem protagonist. So that's basically my 10 and 8. I just really love the concept of Basara's power-ups, his abilities. A lot more. I feel like it's a lot more powerful than Issei's Juggernaut or Boosted Gear. So I definitely like that, and I also love the female characters design. Although I don't love. I don't love how the villain sometimes objectifies the Mio Naruse, but for now the designs for Mio is definitely in there, despite the fact that it's a dollar story of Rias. I do love it. I love the design. It's pretty erotic. The concept is definitely erotic, and I really do love Basara's abilities more than Issei. I find interest more in that. Although I also love the boob emperor, the boob dragon emperor. But the difference is Issei has more personality than Basara. So for now, Basara Tojo is going to be at number 9, and let's proceed into number 8. Number 8, not number 10. Number 8 is Shida Itsuka from Date Alive. Again, the reason why he's this low in the list is because, again, he's one of those
one of those harem protagonists that is again forced to be in a harem due to plot reasons. But yeah, I kind of I hesitate to put Shido up in that tier because my top 5 have more has more likable characters other than being a hero. So for me, Shido Itsuka is gonna sit here. And besides, the only reason I love Shido is I do find interest in her in his ability to absorb other the female characters the female characters powers through dating and kissing them. He's basically the less perverse version of Basara, which Basara do it by a sexually harassing or sexually assaulting the females in his harem. But Shido just dates them, kiss them, and done. And it's more a rom-com kind of harem than an actually harem, which is I love about Data Live. There's also a lot of girls like Yoshino. Yoshino is definitely one of my top 10 lollies. There's also Toka. A lot of cute girls in Data Live. Toka, Diskurmi, and plenty more. So for now, Shido Itsuka from Data Live is number 8. Let's proceed to number 7. I haven't really watched Nejima in a while. I think the last time I watched it is like 2013, so I don't remember much about the series, but I do remember that the main heroine is named Asaka or Asuna Kagurazaka, and it's a very quirky tsundere. And then there's also the main protagonist. Is quite mature for his age and quite intelligent, an intelligent mage. I don't remember if I put him in my top 10 anime wizards, but I think he's in there somewhere. In there. I'm not sure. I need to recheck that. But I do like that he befriended a lot. How he develops relationship throughout his students because his student is technically older than him and he's younger. It's kind of a weird Shotakon teacher kind of harem series. So just for that, it's enough to land Nagi Springfield from Nejima in the 7th spot on my top 10 harem protagonists. So let's proceed to number 6. Number 6 is going to be part of the perverted trio, of course. So let's go for that. Number 6. Number 6 is one the perverted trio alongside Issei is Arta Kasuga. I do love Arta Kasuga. It's definitely one of the harem protagonists that has personality in them. A pervert. He's definitely he's a demon lord. I think it's been a while since as you can see, it's been a while since I've watched 387. So I think he was a demon lord. So it's a demon lord, a perverted demon lord who gathers up harem, accidentally gathers up a harem again. That's why he's definitely number 6.
Having shit takes in that. I mean, you can check out the full video on my main channel, but dang, if this is how ship takes are for Trinity 7, oh my goodness. I need to rewatch that series because clearly I've not rewatched it enough, and I need to rewatch it again so that I can get reminded of the main protagonist. Oh my god. That is shit. That is shit take right there at its finest. Let's continue on with the next top 10, shall we?
10 is of course probably the most average. Of course, I feel like everyone in here is definitely a lot more generic, but this is by far, number 10 is by far the most generic out of all of this list, out of all the characters in this list, and that's Shin Mulford from Kenja no Magu. I think I prefer Shin Mulford over Mochizuki Toi. I think he's a lot more excitable. Salop are quirky, definitely. I do love quirky characters. Thus, this list has a lot of quirky character and characters with issues, and a little bit of a jerk kind of character. So, for now, number 10 is Shin Wolford, the most average guy in this list. Without further ado, let's go to number 9. Number 9, Eins Olgon. For Eins Olgon, I really do like Eins Olgon because I feel like he's one of those isekai protagonists that took the villain route. And I don't know about you, but every time a protagonist, we're following a villain as a protagonist, I really do enjoy that kind of story. Like, that's the reason why I love Death Note, because the main protagonist essentially is a villain, and I love villain stories like that. So for me, I'll put Eins Olgon at number 9. But still, even though I do love Eins Olgon as a villain protagonist, I still much prefer a bit more heroic kind of main character. So for now, let's have Eins Olgon be at number 9. Let's proceed to number 8. Number 8, let's step away from villain protagonist and let's go put the shield hero Nofumi Iwatani in number 8. The only downside for Shield here is the main protagonist is the only one, aside from his team, the main protagonist is definitely the only competent hero. That's the downside, but other than that, I love the fact that Nofumi is not put on a pedestal like majority of the isekai protagonists in modern isekai protagonists, and I really do enjoy Nofumi. I would have put Hajime from Arifureta, but ultimately I think I prefer Nofumi, just because his struggle is a lot more surreal than Hajime. Hajime, he did struggle a bit, but after one episode or one chapter, a couple chapters of the manga, he really did struggle. He basically was just, fuck it, I'm gonna one shot everything from this point on. That's basically what Hajime is. Meanwhile, Nofumi did struggle, and he was ostracized. Yeah, he was ostracized. So for me, Nofumi is definitely a lot better than Hajime in that matter. So I'm gonna put Nofumi in number 8. Let's proceed into number 7. Now, number 7, Diablo from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, of course. The reason why I love this guy is because if I were to be isekai'd, I feel like I would be Diablo, because you know what? I am a pretty awkward guy, so I do really do Diablo. Although I would really like to be Diablo. I mean, he gets at least 2 wives, and they're both quite cute as well, quite beautiful. So Diablo is number 7 just because for me he's quite relatable. I'm also as awkward as he is. So number 7, Diablo. Let's proceed into number 6. For number 6, I actually hesitated a bit for putting both main characters in this list, but you know what? For number 6, I will put Sora and Shiro, because originally I was only going to put Sora, but you can't have Sora without Shiro. I feel like they're definitely they're like bundle or packaged together in a single kind of bundle. So for now, they're gonna be in 6th place, Sora and Shiro. Sora is the quirky and more strategic one, while Shiro is more logical and she's kind of cute. As you can see, I'm really a big fan of Shiro, and I've made two lists. Two lists of top 10 lollies, and Shiro is in both of them because Shiro is definitely one of my favorite lollies. She's adorable. She's just adorable. And Sora, very quirky. His quirky attitude is what gets me. I love the quirky attitude. Thus, I love Issei and Luffy, Rimuru as well. So I just spoiled my top list. So yeah, I love the quirky characters. So for me, Sora is definitely one of them, and then Shiro as well. You can't have Sora without Shiro. So number 6, Sora and Shiro from No Game No Life. Let's proceed to number 5.
Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm gonna be ranking all of my top 10 of One Piece male character. Last time I actually did a One Piece list is actually my top 10. I created my One Piece waifu. Number 10, I'm gonna start it off with Sabo. I kind of don't like the fact that it started. Sabo is actually on like my bottom tier of the list, but I do love my Sabo. It's just that we haven't really seen much aside from the Luffy and Ace backstory. Much from him. We did see a lot in Dressrosa, but as the series went on, in the Big Mom, in the Whole Cake Island arc and Kaido's arc, I do love a lot of the characters there, and I do love his boss more though. The mystery of his boss is really intriguing to me. But regardless, I do love how badass, and I do ship Koala with Sabo as well. So without further ado, number 10 for now is Sabo from One Piece. And number 9, another badass character that we haven't seen in a long time, ever since Punk Hazard Heart. But every time we see him, it's actually really there's like in Punk Hazard, he has that one fight against Virgo, and one moment with Law as well. So number 9, without further ado, is Smoker. Yeah, another badass that we rarely get to see, but every time we see it, we always love it. So number 9, Smoker, by far one of my favorite Marines, probably my top 3, including top 4, because there's Aokiji, there's Sengoku, there's Garp. Yeah, top 4, definitely top 4. So without further ado, let's proceed to number 8. Number 8, have you ever experienced seeing a character for the first time, like in any anime, manga, movies, and have you experienced seeing a character for the first time and saying, oh my god, this character, cool, so flipping cool right now. I love this character. This is definitely going to be my all-time favorite for this story right now. Oh my god. Number 8 is essentially that character for me. Like the first time I saw Dracula Mihawk back on, I believe, Barate arc. He just freaking riding along with this coffin boat, willy-nilly sliced up I can't remember his name. Sliced up that guy's ship, like so epic, man. Like Dracula Mihawk for me is one of my all-time favorite One Piece male character, and I cannot resist putting Dracula Mihawk in this list. Like one of those characters that rarely is seen in the story, but every time you see it, you are not gonna be a disappointed fan. Like that's how epic Dracula Mihawk is. Although my question, how did they approach Mihawk to become a warlord. Like, I can only imagine that. I can only imagine that. Like, that is just intimidation right there. I feel like he has the Conqueror's Haki just for that, man. Like, oh, oh my god, oh. Mihawk, man. Mihawk is, whew. Without further ado, number 8 is Mihawk. Without further ado, let's proceed into number 7. Number 7, we're gonna be current arc, the Wano Saga or the Wano arc right now. It's Trafalgar the Waterloo or Law. Like, from backstory, from design, from aesthetics, from the fact he is the one who's been helping Luffy since the War of the Best or the Marineford War. Everything about Law, his epithet, the Surgeon of Death, that's kind of an intimidating, kind of an awesome edgelord kind of epithet right there. I love everything about Law. Aesthetic, his epithet, his ability. Like, I think one of my top 10 devil fruits is Lost Devil Fruits. Back in the day when I used to do that, I absolutely loved Opinumi. His backstory with Corazon is kind of interesting for me. I do. It's sad that it's kind of depressing as well. I do love everything about Law. Law is best. I feel like best boy for the current arc actually. So without further ado, number 7 is Trafalgar Law. Let's proceed into number 6. Number 6 is gonna be my best villain. Like, I feel like number 6 for me is my favorite villain of all fun. Number 6, I'm probably one of my favorite One Piece villain. It's gonna be Blackbeard. I'm putting Blackbeard atop Law because I just love the whole aesthetics, the way that Oda presented Blackbeard, the way that it signifies an end of an era, the old era, like the old Whitebeard and Roger era, and the beginning of the Blackbeard and Luffy era. Like, that's just, for me, is just the best. And the fact that in some ways he's similar to Luffy, in some ways he's also different from Luffy. And I love that he completely contrasts Luffy and is built up to be one of probably Luffy's biggest challenge. As a matter of fact, I feel like Marshall you teach Blackbeard is definitely going to be one of the final villain, or it's going to be the final villain of One Piece. And without further ado, number 6 for now. Just because I love Blackbeard.